From Carolla One Studios in Glendale, California, this is the Adam Carolla Show. Adam's guest today, celebrity interior designer Jonathan Rachman. With Gina Grad on news, Bald Bryan on sound effects, and the deaf frat guy calls in for a round of JV or all balls. And now, in honor of DFG, this year his Christmas tree ornaments are all balls. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice, but you got a mandate. You get it on now. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing the show. Right, Gina Grad?
That's right.
Handball, Brian.
Meow.
All right, let's see. I got a Cris Collinsworth apology.
Oh.
Yeah, everyone's got to apologize these days. And, I think it's going to lead to something that's not a great place to be in. But Collinsworth was, I don't know, he was doing Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football, whatever.
Wednesday.
Wednesday, that's right, because the Steelers are making up their Wednesday game. And Steelers unbeaten, I think 11-0 right now. And
unbeaten team in the league.
He was talking about seeing the fans of the Steelers and how the women seem particularly interested in it. And here's his comment, and we'll try to figure out why he was forced to apologize. But he did apologize.
He's a fan. In particular, the ladies that I met, they had really specific questions about the game. I was like, wow, you're just blown away by how strong the fans are here in this town.
All right, so strong fans, particularly the ladies. Now, I guess you could say, well, are ladies not supposed to be fans? I think that's probably where the blowback is coming from. But
Can I answer that question?
Yes.
They're not.
They're not.
They're not, and they're not supposed to be. I'm the daughter of a sportscaster, and it skipped me completely. So when I ask questions like, what does that guy do, and why is he standing all the way over there? It's because I have zero idea, and I don't want to get canceled, but I'm pretty sure I'm in the majority.
I think,
as the female.
I think if you said, if most guys met a new woman and started dating, and that woman just happened to be a strong sports fan, that would be a little bit of an anomaly and a plus
and a turn on.
for most guys. And you would point it out, and rightfully so. You'd go, she's really into sports.
And what Collinsworth was talking about specifically was like asking detailed questions, but I presume are about personnel or formations or things that you wouldn't just occur to be like, hey, Steelers playing great this year. Like they're knowledgeable fans, which let's just say it traditionally is not the way.
Right, and that's why he's bringing it up. So he's saying, and by the way, I don't know when we started twisting compliments into hate speak. You know what I mean? Like, this is he's attempting to pay a compliment, which is, I mean, maybe it's just a sort of probable manifestation of, 10 years ago you couldn't say that dress looks great on you. Those kind of compliments are out the window.
Well, between the two of you, it fefeels like we have a pretty heavy HR department because I've been looking good. Nobody said shit.
No one has ever. Well, we're all scared to compliment Gina.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's paying the Steeler fans in general a compliment, and he's specifically saying the women are really into it. And he's paying them a greater compliment. Well, of course, somebody heard this, and that'll never do. So then he had to issue an apology, which I argued that this stuff would go away if people stopped issuing apologies. Like if people started saying, hey, get over yourself. I was complimenting the ladies of the Steel City, but so no apologies. And also, an apology is always kind of an admittance of guilt. And there's nothing Cris Collinsworth did that should put him should fall under the heading of he should feel guilty or he needs to retract it or whatever it is. But we have his apology, We'll play that. Gina, can you see that?
Yeah, I can. It says, today on our broadcast, I made reference to a couple of women that I met in Pittsburgh who so impressed me with their football knowledge that I wanted to tell their story on the air. I know the way I phrased it insulted many. I'm so sorry. What I intended as a compliment to the fans of Pittsburgh became an insult. I'm sick about insulting any fan, but especially female fans and journalists. I know firsthand how much harder they have to work than any of us in this industry. I was wrong, and I deeply apologize.
Do you think he really feels bad about it? Also, who was hurt by this? How many people were hurt by this? Who saw this on Wednesday Night Football and was hurt by this? And shouldn't those people just shut the fuck up? This is not fall under the heading of a problem. Cris Collinsworth is nobody's problem. Seems to be the greatest guy in the world and a good earner, a good taxpayer. Yet he must apologize. Now, here's the insidious part of this. And it is true, and it's going to happen, or it is happening. People are just going to stop refraining from talking about women or blacks or anything. People are just going to stop talking about shit. Like, they're just going to go people. They're not going to be specific anymore. There's going to be the color commentary is going to be gone because the color comment. Yeah, the color commentary is now some weird muted gray, some low gloss gray tone that everyone's just going to have to enter. There will be no more color commentary. There will be no, here's an expert, here's his takes, got hot takes, here's his feelings, here's her feelings. Now, there's going to be no more of that because anything specific can get you called out. So it's going to be a lot of generalities and a lot of, isms and, a lot of, if you're a Steeler fan about now, you want them to convert this fourth down. Now, if you're a Patriots fan about now, you'd like to see them, you'd like to get a turnover. There's going to be no more color comment. All the personality shall be removed. Yes.
But when it comes to the apology, isn't it sort of up to Chris's employer to either make a statement saying, hey, we know what he meant, back off, or just the employer to say, just let it go? Because I would imagine that he was called by somebody who signs his checks to say, you need to do something about this. So wouldn't you think that it's more somebody who signs his check possibly not having his back?
Maybe and probably, I guess. I don't know. Some people just want to get out front of everything. Somebody just, a lot of people just tell the publicist, just sort of construct some apology and throw it out there. I have no idea. I would be kind of surprised if he was pressured, but maybe he was. And the answer should just be no. Yeah, I mean, think about, there was another sports, I think Bryan, the guy who called the hockey games for Sacramento, San Jose, maybe the Sharks guy.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy got shit canned earlier in COVID by just sort of explaining that hockey guys were now in the bubble and they didn't have distractions. They didn't have women. They didn't have other distractions. And he said women as a distraction. That guy got shit canned.
I vaguely remember this, but that's a fair point. Like, if you're a single guy and you're chasing Dale on the road, probably better not to have that distraction.
Right. Mike Milbury from NBC got shit canned for saying they're in the bubble, they don't have the distractions. And I think it's fair to say that most athletes and especially hockey players, it can be a distraction when you're on the road and the groupies are in the lobby of the hotel.
Of course.
We have plenty of examples of it. Who was it that they got caught in the bubble? It had to be the NBA then, who dressed one of the chicks that came in like in a jersey to like sneak her through. I mean, this is happening. It's not like they just made that up.
I know.
Like calling it a distraction is them making it up.
Nobody's really into that anymore. Everyone's just into, this guy said something. He said women. It's basically he said women and Cris Collinsworth said women, and that was enough. Shit can him or make him apologize.
This Collinsworth was a compliment.
Cris Collinsworth was a compliment.
It was just a statement.
Yes. Well, anyway,
women are asking a lot of questions.
Anyone who thinks about doing any color commentary in any sporting event on a mic is going to have to bite their tongue now. And I guarantee Cris Collinsworth is never going to bring up women again on on a broadcast. And so that's where we're at, everyone. Everyone like that? Is that what we want? Is that what we're shooting for? Or does that mean we're evolved? We're evolved now? We're just going to get people removed from their jobs because they talk into a microphone. Yes, Gina.
I think the world would be a better place if, you know how I have very strong feelings about how bands shouldn't be able to get famous off of a cover? Well, I don't feel like you're allowed to call out a person or a corporation if you heard about it on Twitter.
Yes.
Because if you're looking at it on Twitter, I could see it on Twitter and go, well, I don't watch sports, but I don't like it. I never would have seen it. It never would have come up on my radar unless I was watching that game, which I assure you I was not.
And then who is the individual or individuals? Who is the one who's actually hearing what Cris Collinsworth said and went, I got to fire off a letter, a harshly worded letter to the network? Who are these people? And, I just came up with an invention. Whenever you're firing off a tweet, or whenever you're firing off an email to an entity, let's say, see if we can figure this out. You're firing off a tweet. All right, let's try to figure out my invention.
Okay.
If you're firing off a tweet and it's got the words insulted or attacked or
Outraged.
What's that?
Outraged.
Outraged. All right, if it's got any of those words in it, halfway into typing the tweet, your screen goes blank and becomes a mirror.
Really think about this.
You have to look at your really shitty, stuck-up, uptight, out-of-problems puss for 3 seconds before you can go back and re-engage with the tweet, and it'll be the same on your computer screen. You have to look at your big, fat, outraged face when you're talking about being insulted or outraged or attacked, and it will just go pure mirror, and you can look at yourself. And maybe we'll do it with shit and fuck and cocksucker in it too. Maybe we'll pick a few swear words. We'll pick a few good words about feeling slighted or outraged or attacked, and it'll just go to mirror. It'll just be for 3 seconds, and you get to examine yourself, and then we'll go right. If you want to go back to it after that, you can go back to it.
I like that. I think that is actually totally possible to do.
Yeah, the camera activates.
Yeah, those words, no pun intended, trigger the camera. Mm-hmm. So, and these are all causes that you're reaching out on. So maybe you put the cause cam on your setting, and the second it hears that word, the camera turns on, the front-facing camera turns on.
Not since my phone app, my will do phone app, the third time they hear you say will do to your wife, does it get staticky and hang up for 40 minutes? Have I been so impressed with an invention / app?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. On breaking Tom Cruise Top Gun helmet news, his backup helmet sold for $106,000 over the, I guess it was over the weekend.
Not bad for a backup.
Backup MAV helmet sold for cool $106,000, and I think Newman's second engraved watch is coming up this weekend too, so we can keep an eye. I'll report back to you on that on Monday.
Oh wow! And sorry, just to point out the inscription on the back. It says, "Oh shit!" It's hard to read her name, but it says "Drive slowly." And is it Jean or Joanne? Joanne Woodward.
Joanne.
Drive slowly, Joanne.
Yeah, his first watch that sold for $18.7 million had an inscription. That's funny. She wrote him the first watch, which was sort of drive carefully or something. What was that one, Max Spada? We discussed it on CarCast.
Yeah, it was drive carefully me.
Drive carefully me was the first one she gave him. That's back when he was younger and driving, and I think the second one showed up when he was older and driving, and that's where the drive slow part came in versus the drive safe part. All right, so we'll keep you updated with that. We have another Unprepared from Florida. This one is one I never got before. It's Scallywag.
Ooh.
Yeah, so wait, let's all take a moment and think, what would we all do with Scallywag?
I like old-timey terms like that, but I don't have thoughts on that one in particular.
Pirate-esque?
I didn't either until I started talking. Here we go. What else we got? We got another one? Scallywag? I don't know what a scallywag is. It's a pirate term for what? So what? A crafty thief, but you have to be on a pirate ship, right? My whole thing, if I was on a pirate ship and someone accused me of being a scallywag, I'd be like, fuck you, we're on a pirate ship. What you want out of me? What do you think, this is a fucking Cub Scout jamboree? How dare you? I don't know. Do you think pirates were really like they were? Like, what did we didn't have photographs of pirates? How the fuck did they know what? Did they all look? Sorry, like Johnny Depp? I mean, how did? Maybe they just wore fucking cargo shorts and flip-flops. Like, maybe they were just regular dudes. Like, maybe the pirates were tired of it. First off, why do you gotta get all pirated up? It's just a bunch of dudes on the boat. It's a fucking sausage fest. Like, you gotta go like, oh, I gotta put my 8 scarves on and my wooden peg leg and my earrings and my hat and put my eyeliner on. Why? So you can just see fucking Walt and Tim and Steve up on the deck? What are you getting all gussied up for? Besides Pirates of the Caribbean, what is our reference for what pirates looked like? Somalians, yeah. Those are what real pirates look like, right? A bunch of emaciated brothers in sweatpants, right? Not fucking pirates. By the way, why would you have a parrot on your shoulder? First off, you're dressing in a very ornate fashion, and you're putting a bird on your shoulder. Shouldn't there be parrot shit all over that fucking lovely jacket? Like, these guys dress like Michael Jackson. Wouldn't there be parrot shit? I can't pick a bird up without it shitting on me. I would have a cat if I was a pirate. Let him fucking hunt out the rats on this ship. I don't need a fucking bird. And by the way, they always do the dead men tell no tales. Yeah, no shit. All dead people can't talk. We understand. But I'm serious. How do we know what pirates actually looked like? Do we know? There's no photographs. I never see any drawings. All we got is Captain Crunch, Captain Morgan, and Johnny Depp. That's our fucking full reference. Scallywag, which is pretty much turned into pirates because you can't do all scallywag talk.
That was literally the only word that came into my mind. It's pirate speak.
It's pirate speak. But
and don't forget Captain Kangaroo.
Yeah, the Captain Kangaroo. That guy was off-putting. Has there ever been a celebrity or notable person, male, with bangs that worked? You know what I mean? Where it wasn't
Maybe go to the Monkees?
Yeah,
That's more of a bowl cut.
Davy Jones, it kind of swept over. Like Sonny Bono had the bangs for a while, didn't work. Captain Kangaroo famously had bangs, didn't work. And will bangs ever come back?
For dudes?
Yes.
No.
Here's hoping not.
No.
Never, but that's a tough hill to climb.
It was good whenever it was in vogue. It was good for zits on the forehead.
Sure.
That it covered up a lot of zits. I, by the way, did something that I always wish my parents would do, and I don't know if anyone else's parents ever did this with them. I don't think so. There's certain things in life that I always feel like it's the kind of thing that parents should do, and yet they never seem to do. Or I never had a conversation with anyone in my family about it, although we didn't talk about anything. But I mean, did you guys ever have a conversation about zits and what to do with zits?
Never once.
Me
My
neither.
mom did.
Your mom?
I think it's more of a mom-daughter thing. It was just all about astringent. Just pour astringent all over your face like acid.
Right. So the zit thing is something that everyone starts getting when they're 13, 14, 15. It's a big hassle. it can be a big deal or not such a big deal, depending on how you treat it. And nobody ever really has that conversation. I never had that conversation. So I noticed Sonny had a nice zit the other day. And
I hope you pointed it out.
Oh, shit, yeah, I pointed out. I not only pointed out, I went to go get a needle to lance it. I lanced it right at the dinner table. And then I got out the Oxy 10 and put a little dollop on the zit. The best, here's my zit advice. First things first. Don't monkey with the zit. Like, do not agitate the zit. Don't start squeezing it and pushing on it and grabbing at it. All it does, it will literally just fight you every step of the way and end up getting more inflamed and more red and more whatever. Do not touch the zit in the early stages.
Some happy fun ball shit.
Do not taunt. Happy fun ball.
Later, let the zit mature a little bit. Okay. Once the zit matures a little bit, take a nice hot steaming shower. Get some heat going in there. If you got one of those steamers you use for having a head cold or something, put the towel over your head and get that heat. Get that heat going on that zit. Once you step out from that nice moist heat, then you find the zit's epicenter. You find
point of entry.
Yes, you find that one pore that is clogged. That one pore is fucked up. You will see that one pore. Then you get a pin and you lance it. You just drop it into that one pore, right? And you got to have a little white cap going. You got to be able to see it. You drop it in. Then instead of pushing it together, you stretch it. Stretch it out. Yes, you milk it by not shoving it together. Pushing the fingers together just irritates and agitates. You pull it.
I've never heard this.
Pull it apart. And by the way, if you got a little white cap or white head and you drop that pin into the epicenter and you pull it apart, it'll just milk right out of there. Then you dab it with a little Kleenex, and then you get a little fingerful of the Oxy 10. And by the way, they have two kinds. They have the flesh-colored ones. The flesh-color Oxy 10 is made for Alicia Keys and above. It's not really white guys' flesh color. It's a weird dark brown kind of a flesh. It's a medium tan color. It's too dark for most white folk, but it's still.
The baseline is Norah Jones or John Legend. Is that right about there?
Yes. But the other stuff, which they claim is. I think they call it vanishing or something. That just looks like the pirates' parrot shit on your face.
Yeah,
it's a weird crusty white blotch that's on your face. So get the skin tone, get the Oxy 10, that's 10% benzoyl peroxide, or Clearasil 10, that's 10%. Don't waste your time with the 5%. Once you pull it apart, once you dab it with the Kleenex, then you just put a little dab of that on before you go to bed, and it just dries the whole mess out.
I love how the guy who doesn't use soap just wanted attended an instruction.
That's right.
Well, the minor surgery.
But the key is all the scrubbing, all the soap, all the Neutrogena, all the astringent, all that stuff. All that does is just agitate, produce more production of sebum and oil and whatever. Because that's what I was told. Like, you got to scrub it. You got to get. When I was in high school, it's like you got to get that scrub that's got the apricot pits mashed up in it. But
the St. Ives.
That's the greatest scam in the world. Somebody, the guys over at Hadley's who do dried apricot halves. They were probably spending $10,000 a year removing the apricot pits and having them transported to a landfill. And they were like, wait a minute. What if we could sell to a super stupid America that if we just ground this shit up and you put it into this soap, then you could use it like it was basically use it like rubbing compound, like on your car, like if you get a scuff,
Right. Buff it out.
Only this is your very, very delicate face skin. You really just rub the shells in there.
Did it ever work for anybody where they took like, I'm going to take this abrasive and go at my face with this abrasive? The thing about all the cleansing and all the scrubbing and all this stuff is it's like that. Stay away from your face. Do not go at your face. Less hands on the face is better for zits. Yes.
You know, I have never popped a zit in my entire life. Because I really was lucky. I really didn't have a skin issue until I was in my 20s, which, by the way, I'd love to ask Dr. Drew about this this phenomenon I'd never heard of. I started getting zits in my 20s and my feet grew. And I was like, what is happening to me? And apparently some women specifically go through a second puberty. And that's what that was. I've never heard of it before, but I've never popped
Wait a minute. I don't want to punch holes in your story, but how could you see your feet, Gina?
That's a very, very good
Did you have a Brannick device by the side of your bed?
When
Podiatrist told
I was the evil stepsister, and when my slave sister tried to put my glass shoe on, it just wouldn't fit. So, but that is a point well taken. So I've never done that because I am super crazy grossed out by the idea, the feel, and all of it, the popping and having something like spurt out. I love an ingrown hair. So it's not like I'm not squeamish about everything. I am so squeamish about zit popping. I can't do it. I'd love to. I can't.
The best zit you'll ever get is the zit that's in a place that no one will see it and you can go at it. You know what I mean? The best zit, every once in a while, and maybe it's an ingrown hair, I don't know. Once in a while, you'll be like stepping out of the shower and you'll see the zit on the outer part of your thigh next to your ass cheek. And you're like, oh, I'm fucking going at this thing with needle nose pliers.
Dim the lights, light a candle.
Yeah.
Lionel Richie on.
Have a shower beer and go at it. There's nothing better than going at the zit that no one will ever see. Or the people that do see it, they're not judging. You know what I mean? They're either prostitute or your wife or both. All right. We got DFG. Is DFG zooming in soon?
He should be calling in any second.
He's calling in. I got another clip that was from last week that I was saving for you. It's a delicate dance here, but Sarah Fuller is the kicker for Wake Forest. Trying to think of where
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt, sorry. And
I'm almost positive it was Vanderbilt.
First female kicker to kick in a game, and she was the top of Sports Center. She made special teams player of the week, and blah blah blah. And it was a big deal, except for she didn't kick a field goal or an extra point. She kicked one kickoff. And it was a
squib kick.
It was a squib kick. And in terms of, it was historical to have a woman kick in a college football game. But in terms
the historical part was she was the first kicker for a Power 5 conference team.
Right. But in terms of the kicking she did, she kicked once, and it was a squib down the field on a kickoff. And I would argue that anybody on her team could have performed that particular kick. Does that sound fair, Brian?
Yes, it does. Gina, a squib kick is a kickoff that you don't kick all the way to the end zone. You kind of half-ass it to about the 30-ish yard line.
And then the other team grabs it?
Well, the idea being that there will not be a return, which there wasn't. Not to shit on the point, but as a former special teams coach, that was a very good squib kick.
Right, but why do you squib kick to start a game, to start a second half?
I don't know.
Is that a choice, or is that just like a mess up, a squib?
Oh no, that was for sure intentional.
Why was it a choice? It was a choice because she couldn't kick it down the field.
Most likely, because had she put her all into it, it probably would have gone to the 15, the 20.
Maybe.
I
don't know. She was kicking extra points and field goals, but what no one really realizes is when you see people do that versus the real kickers, they're taking an extra step and a half. Like they're back, if you want to kick professionally or at a college level or at a high school level, you get a step and a half and then you got to let it fly. You can't take 2 or 3 steps into it. Anyway, It was an interesting story, but it didn't really have much payoff because it was just one kick and it was a squib kick, and the team recovered it on the 35, which is not really what you're looking for on a kickoff. You'd like to put it out in the back of the end zone if you can, or just drop it down on the 2-yard line and make the person return it. But she squibbed it down the field, and it wasn't that. Like, I'm like, that's cool. It was just the top of Sports Center and Linda Cohen going nuts about it, and all. And Vanderbilt lost 41-0, by the way.
Yeah, so the coach says that the kick was designed and it was meant for her because that's what she's used to striking. They really tried to go with her the most natural kicks in her arsenal, so they didn't want to overcoach her, let her do what she felt comfortable with.
But if you're a soccer kicker and you're used to doing that kind of squib action, and then you come up to the team, shouldn't you just work on kicking it like they kick in football versus how they kick in soccer? Anyway, God bless Sarah Fuller. I was really just talking about Linda Cohen, so I'll play you that from the top of Sports Center last week.
And we welcome in a rock star. Yes, I labeled you, Sarah Fuller, a rock star because that's what you are, into Sports Center. Sarah, thanks so much for joining us on a milestone day for you. What was your mindset as you arrived to the stadium to play on Saturday? Sarah, you brought a lot of people to the screen to watch this game against Missouri. People that never seen Vanderbilt, people that never have watched Missouri. They were watching because of you. There was buzz along social media, of course.
Yeah.
How would you grade your kickoff to start that second half?
A lot of confidence going into it, and a lot of support from teammates and fans. This is crazy. I have fans now, so.
Oh, yeah, you have fans. That is for sure, including me. Hello, I'm a fan. You said you got a lot of new fans, and I believe it. Well, you're amazing, and we are all big fans, and we really appreciate you, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
So much out there for you to grab and run with.
I got to say, when you talk about she's a college level soccer player, you talk about the first kicker, like if we were just sitting around, we knew nothing. You go, there's a female soccer player who's at the college who's going to the men's team to kick the ball. I would picture a little more than a squib down the field. I'd like to see a little air under that ball.
It was been anticlimactic for sure.
They did not they didn't score points, so there were no extra points and there was no field goals. But it was more Linda Cohen with everyone's a fucking rock star. She fucking squibbed the ball down the field. Just relax. And I also saw, it wasn't semi-tough. Kathy Ireland.
Oh, I was just thinking this is a slap in the face to Kathy Ireland.
Roughness?
Unnecessary roughness. Yes.
I love that movie.
Unnecessary roughness.
Unnecessary.
Right.
Scott Bakula is the fucking 45-year-old quarterback.
That's right.
Yeah, she was the first, and in my heart and mind, the only female kicker that's ever donned the cleats and got on the gridiron. All right, let me tell you about Luckbox, the Control Freak's new guide to life, money, and probability for investors, traders, entrepreneurs, side hustlers, gamblers, I should say, and probability geeks. Each issue is a deep dive into the current business or cultural theme, timely stories on investment trends, gambling, politics, sports, whiskeys, beer, cannabis, and more. More than 10 editorial awards in the first year, including Best New Magazine of 2019 and 2020. Luckbox will make you a wiser investor, smarter trader, better gambler, and maybe a little luckier. Luckbox, right, Dawson?
Luckbox is available in print for subscribers and on newsstands for $7.99 an issue. But with this special offer, you get 10 digital issues, 1 year of Luckbox, absolutely free. No credit cards, no bullshit, no bait and switch, just Luckbox in your inbox for free. Make your own luck. Get Luckbox. Subscribe for free today at getluckbox.com/Adam.
All right. Deaf Rat Guy's on hold. We'll take a quick break. We'll play JV or All Balls with Deaf Rat Guy right after this.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, man. Good morning. This is Barry in Iowa. Just calling in for my annual No Soap update. It's been officially 4 years this week. I have had zero soap of any sort. Not in the shower, not after I go pee or poo, not after I change a dirty diaper, or hand sanitizer, nothing. Zero. 4 years. You're my inspiration for that, obviously. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm perfectly fucking fine. It's amazing, isn't it? You're my hero.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Wow. On the same subject, just talking about zits. All right. Let's see. Gina's hit the bathroom. She's going to be back in 20 seconds. DFG is on line one. Deaf frat guy.
Hell yeah.
Hey, DFG, how you doing?
Hell yeah. All balls. How are you doing, bro?
Doing good. How you hanging with the old pandemic?
It is what it is.
That's truer words have never been spoken.
Wise.
Have you been drinking more? I feel like you were drinking a lot before the pandemic, and now maybe you're drinking more.
I read an article today that said that binge drinking is up 20%. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's up like fucking 250%.
Right. Yeah. Are you funneling beers, or are you just drinking them out of the can?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Any way we can get it in.
That's how you do it. All right. DFG, you can follow, by the way, follow him on Twitter at Def Frat Guy. Just to set the table, Def Frat Guy was a seventh-year senior at USC?
Fifth year.
Oh, fifth-year senior at USC. You broke off and started your own frat after getting into a scrape with Blake Chambers?
Well, there was some other issues, but one thing I got to say, dude, it's a fraternity, not a frat. Would you call your country a cunt?
Oh, right.
That's a good comparison.
Very good.
Right. All right. So it's a fraternity. Wait, would I call my cousin a cunt?
A country.
Your country.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Sure.
You're right.
But I had to do Def Frat Guy because, to save letters.
Right. So, but you got Delta Phi, and that became the frat.
Hell yeah.
Fraternity.
So, fraternity. Sorry. Thank you, Gina. Shall we, do we have an intro for JV or All Balls? So JV's bad, All Balls is good. You're going to throw out a subject, and we're going to guess whether it's JV or All Balls.
Yeah. And today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to give you guys 5 topics and then do a speed round.
Oh, speed round. All right. Dawson's looking for the intro. I think he's having some technical problems.
It's not loading. Stand by.
All right.
I can play it, Dawson, if you want me to.
Go for it, please.
Okie doke.
And now, Mangria presents The Deaf Frat Guy and JV or All Balls.
He calls from the frat house onto the show. The deaf frat guy, hearing impaired, bro. He's hammered all day long with Poochie Moose and Mike F. They chug some brews, shoot potato guns, and then play ookie cookie. If something's bushy, he'll make the call. So now it's time for JV or All Balls.
All right, now we're ready to play JV or All Balls. So if it's good, it's All Balls. If it's bad, it's JV. Here we go.
Okay, I wanted to make this a politics and COVID-free segment.
Okay, good.
Okay, here's the first one. Fake breasts, fake titties.
Fake titties. I feel like they were in vogue a number of years ago, but they've gone a little out of popularity.
Yeah, butt implants are the thing now.
Butt implants are the thing, right? So I would say that it would be JV. What do you think, Gina?
Well, I've seen a lot of bolt-ons, the one that they just don't put them on right. They look like the fembots. But if you get yourself a nice pair of implants and they're perfect, that shit is all balls.
Yeah, from the simple aesthetics, all balls.
Okay.
I'm going JV. Life and breath are like a box of chocolate. You don't know which ones you're going to get. And plus, I like a natural bush.
Oh.
Wait, did you say bush?
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay, but I thought we were talking about breast implants.
No, I like titties the way God made them.
He likes to have natural head to toe.
Right.
He was like, by the way.
But, the bush is just kind of that's
a footnote.
It's a closer
to...
You want to send any pics or anything.
All right. So, yeah, the bush is a closer to the feet note, I guess is what we're talking about here. All right. It's good. Good. Noted, by the way. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh.
Wasn't Ashley shaved down there?
So she like John Benet Ramsey down below.
Oh.
But she was like one of the first. The only chicks that did it back then were like her and like biker chicks.
Oh, I see. Right. So she was kind of ahead of the curve on the shaved bush. I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Next one.
Okay. The next one, butt implant. No, I'm just kidding, dude. Hell yeah. The next one is from my bro Kenneth Bloom. He wants to know about couples counseling.
Couples counseling. Well, I hear statistically, by the time you get to couples counseling, it seems to be a failure. Statistically, I think the thing about couples counseling, I think it's kind of like health screenings and things like that, which is if you go in to see the doctor because you have a huge lump on your neck, it might be too late. On the other hand, if you go in once a year for a screening, then you could probably prevent this. So the sad reality of couples counseling is it would probably be effective before you think you need it. By the time you need it, it's no longer effective. So I'm going to say a premature strike on couples counseling, like you going right from the wedding ceremony right to the therapist's office. Like you literally honeymoon in Sherman Oaks at Dr. Fitzgibbon's place.
Upstairs with a strip mall.
Or maybe you could just have the ceremony in the lobby of the medical building and just go right to the
two birds.
Yeah, like if you thought about couples counseling like you think about working out, you know what I mean? Where you go, I'm just going to exercise on a regular basis versus I'll wait till I'm morbidly obese. Usually for anything, when you wait to the part, or I don't know, guys with hair loss, if you kind of get on it early, sorry, Brian, there's lots of stuff you can do. If you kind of wait to that point where you got the big saucer bald spot in the back of your head, and now it's a tougher slog. So I would say it's JV because people don't use it until after there's an affair or there's a situation or you caught the guy cross-dressing or whatever it is. If you could go right from the church where you got married directly to the therapist's office, then it would work. But I'll just go JV.
Yeah, I'll say it's a good tool. It should be used, like you said, more often earlier. By the time people get to it or decide to pull that card, it's often too late. So JV.
I agree with both of you, but I'm going to look at the marriage certificate half full and say for the same reason, because I've told you this before, I've had a therapist say when it comes to couples counseling, there are people she'll just say, I can't help you guys stay married, but I can help you break up. So apparently there is no end to what a therapist can do when you're in couples counseling. So I'll call it all balls.
JV.
Oh.
Yes.
I don't know DFG very well.
Why is it JV?
Because all the things that you said.
Oh, okay. I'll accept that as an answer. I'll always
well
accept
thought
that
out.
as an answer.
He
All the
was on
things
the
I said.
fence.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm leading 2-0. I think Brian's 1-1. Gina 0
Who
for
said?
2. All right. Here we go.
The next one, van life. Van life.
Van life.
Oh, van life.
Hashtag van life.
Like
Dudes that like go around in vans and put it on Insta.
put on what?
On Instagram.
Oh, Insta. Oh, sorry.
Insta.
Yeah.
Insta.
Yeah. So like custom van life.
Yeah, like like doing a Mercedes Sprinter and going to like Red Rock Canyon, or like
Yeah,
Grand
living
Canyon.
that van life.
Oh,
That's
the
different. I
van.
thought it was like people that parked on Sepulveda.
Oh, yeah. We're looking at, so this is, they got all these great vans now. They're tall. That's the main thing. It took the van was invented in 1939, and not until 2011 did we figure out if you just added 19 inches to the fucking top of it, we would all have to crawl around like
stand in a van.
Cro-Magnon man. The second you could stand in a van, all of a sudden it was wide open. It's like, oh, now we can take this. We can take this everywhere. Wow, I find this attractive. I like this notion. I mean, I would probably file it under the heading of shit I would never do, but I like this notion of getting in one of these comfortable, tall vans that's all buffed out with the microwave and the coffee maker and the bed that pulls out and does all that stuff, and going to the Grand Canyon or going to Yosemite or doing any of that stuff. I like it. Now, are we talking about chronicling it and then putting it up on Insta and trying to get likes? Because maybe I don't like that person, but I do like the lifestyle. I'm jealous of that life. Yes, Gina.
Yeah, DFG, just to be certain, because you said both, is this van life like Adam just described, or hashtag van life that you said that you're doing it for the, for the branding aspect?
It's hashtag van life.
I say if you're bragging about it, I got no time for you, so I'm going to say JV.
I'm going to go off the board and say it's all balls, because this is an extension of one of my favorite documentaries, Surfwise, about a family of 11 people who lived in a van in the late 70s, early 80s, and just drove up and down the West Coast surfing. And these kids are somewhere between, as adults now, they're somewhere between normal and twisted, because you can imagine it's a weird life. But I love the documentary. I love this idea. I'm going all balls.
Gina?
Well, to get my perfect streak of 0 with DFG, I too am going all balls, because I even though this is not my life, I will follow these people on Instagram because I like knowing that there are people out there doing this. All balls.
I saw that documentary too. The coolest thing, they had 11 kids, but every single night, no matter what, the parents boned.
Yeah.
Every night.
That's the truth. It's a wild documentary, you guys. The family's we made love every single night in the van with the kids.
They were named the Paskowitz family. They're surfers. Right. And the dad was a doctor, but he believed in having sex in front of the children. But that was back in the day when vans would be rocking because you're boning, not doing yoga and putting it on Insta. JV.
Right. The vans rock because you're boning. That's right.
You want to be a hobo? Hop a freight car like they did in the old days.
Yeah.
I rarely give my parents credit, but thank you for not ever boning in front of me. It's unclear whether you had sex more than twice. Only twice can be documented. But thank you once again for not having sex in front of me. I would have found that to be devastating. Not because
the movie is called Surfwise, and they bowled every night. It sounded like sometimes they thought there were 2 bobcats inside the bus.
Guys, see Surfwise.
Where can you see it, by the way?
You got to rent it. It's a $3 rental.
I was thinking, I think in terms of watching my parents have sex, I don't think I would have objected so much to the fact that it was my parents having sex in front of me. I think the general aesthetic would have disturbed me more than the actual psychological knowledge of knowing it was my parents.
Right.
But it's always hard to separate. All right, go ahead, DFG.
Farmers market.
Farmers markets. Are farmers markets still open in California during this?
Just a story about Rappaport.
Yeah,
right, but
flea market, but yeah,
that was a flea market, and that was pre-shut it all down. I didn't know there was a big. I mean, I knew there was a shut it all down, but I was talking to Dr. Drew earlier today, and I said, "Why don't we grab some dinner Thursday night?" And he was like, "Where?" And I said, in Pasadena, because Pasadena's still open. And he's like, no, now they shut it all down. So the difference between, I guess, L.A. City and the county, or some version of that. So even the places that weren't shut down and were kind of defying the city order are now getting hit, or the county order, they're now getting hit by the state order. I think that's what's going on. Surfwise is on Sling TV, by the way.
No kidding.
All right. What am I? Wait. Oh, am I 3-0? All right. Let's see.
the farmers market.
The farmers market. The farmers market. I don't know why we need a farmers market these days when we have the Sprouts and the Whole Foods and everything. I like the idea of it. Seems like a lot of work for the people that got there at 5 a.m. and put out their festive beach towel and started putting all their homegrown wares on it. I like the notion of the farmers market, but I do not like the people who sell their wares at a farmer's market.
Even the food, or just like the bracelets
vendors
and stuff?
I don't like the vendors. I don't want to. And also, I don't want to hear the story. I don't want to hear the story about you live in Mill Valley. The soil's perfect for persimmons.
Aww.
You can't find the pH in the soil everywhere else is horrible for persimmons. There's only one part of Mill Valley that is actually has a pH level that's perfect for persimmons. And then you got to talk about the best way to grow them and how long you traveled in, and about how your stepdad hated persimmons, but you overcame that.
God forbid you ask, hey, what can we put these in? Oh, boy.
Pull up a chair.
Then it's like, oh, persimmons. You put them in pasta. You put them in meatloaf. Do you have a pet? Yes, I have a raccoon. They love persimmons. Whatever happened to persimmons, by the way?
They're not good.
Are they round?
The only time I've ever had them is when they were giving away samples at the farmers market.
That leads me to my point, Gino, which is you got to have the stress of perfecting the art of sampling. You're like, oh yeah, I'll try that. Oh honey, this is good. Let's
everyone.
make a note to come back here. Let's make a note to hit this on our way. Hey, we'll get back to you. These are really good.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because the pressure of the sample. When you go into a Costco and they have the senior citizen who's making $11 an hour just standing there because she's bored as shit, she retired and now she just wants somewhere to go, and she hands you the little sample, no pressure.
Fill your beanie.
She doesn't run Costco. She doesn't own it. She's not a stockholder. You take as much as you want, leave, and never come back. But when you got the guy who schlepped the bushel of persimmons all the way from Mill Valley, and they give you a little toothpick of it,
You're in.
You're in. You got to you'd be like, all right, I'm leaving. I'm going down to the end. I don't want to buy all the persimmons yet because I don't want to schlep them to the end and then come back. But take my keys.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. Here's my keys. I'm the guy with the van with the headroom in the parking lot. Just keep the Sprinter keys. All right. I'm going to say JV because I don't like the people that sell the wares there.
Farmers markets for me and vis-a-vis Christy are places we go, this is fine, we should come back. And then 2.5 years pass and we go back to another one. So the idea is great. I'm going to go all balls.
Because I want to perfect my losing streak with DFG, we are big fans of the farmers market. The kid loves the farmers market. When I just want to go clear my head, I will walk to the farmers market in Studio City and just sort of take it all in. I love it. I walk back with my little backpack like an asshole. I love it, all balls.
farmers markets, there are more hot babes there than the world's biggest pediatric sauna. All balls.
Yes. Yeah. You're right. There's a lot of hot chicks there.
Yeah.
Not a lot of shaved bush, but a lot of hot chicks. That's for sure.
That's true.
Then the farmer's market, where they really start getting off the beaten path and they start getting into the dream catchers. My favorite farmer's market person is we make our own soap.
Own deodorant, yes.
Yeah, my thing is like, oh, really? I've been trying to purchase soap for years. I don't know I didn't know that you could get it anymore. I had a guy going to Mexico who would bring me back my soap.
There's not a maximum in there I can buy. Is there I can buy as many as I want from you, or just the two?
I hear I make my own soap. It sounds like I make my own pharmaceuticals. Like,
yeah.
I feel like soap is something we've perfected, and it's done in a sterile environment, not in your backyard.
By the way, it was soap. Just when we were in Rarotonga a few, I don't know, 8 years ago, my friends, I went to the Cook Islands, went to Rarotonga, and there was a farmer's market, and they were selling soap, and we were like, oh, we'll bring all these back for our friends, and I was like, oh, they're so cheap. I looked at the ingredients. Are you supposed to have lye in soap? Because I told everyone to put it in
Fight Club.
I told them to put it all back because I don't know if you're supposed to have lye in soap.
Well, if you do, ironically, you got to lie about it.
That's right.
All right, let's do one more, DFG.
All right, how about we go to the lightning?
All right, we'll go right to the lightning speed round.
Okay. Have any of you guys ever beaten off in a tree during a lightning storm? You know how exciting that can be. So get ready for the lightning round. There are 11 questions because 11 and lightning both start with the letter L. Here we go. And you guys just go around like as fast as you can.
Okay.
And then I'll move on. Okay. Second, puberty.
JV.
JV.
Yeah, it's got to be JV.
Keeping your plunger next to the toilet.
That's all balls. That's a practical all balls.
Yeah,
that's
all
JV
balls.
all the way. Keep that shit under the sink like a person.
All balls.
Bitcoin.
JV. Heard too much about it. Still have no idea how it works.
I have none, so JV.
JV, because I think that's how you do human trafficking, and I'm not into it.
Homeless dudes with guitars.
I got to go all balls. If you're going to be homeless, I'd rather you have a guitar than a dog.
Yeah, all balls. Catch a nice tune when you're at the traffic light.
Yeah.
I, too, say all balls. If you're panhandling, this is the service you're providing.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Loose-fitting watches.
I don't like loose-fitting watches. That's JV to me.
That's JV. Too much like a bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
All balls because I don't like things that are too tight on my wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Getting your balls shaved by a lady with a straight razor who is hot but clearly troubled.
It's a lot of layers here.
Whew.
I would do it just to check it off my bucket list. I'm going to say all balls.
Yeah, as one who's got many hot shaves, I'd like to try this. All balls.
Excuse me. JV, she's absolutely trying to take something out on her past onto you. I wouldn't do it, JV.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Naming your baby Gunner.
That ethnically, if it's a blonde kid and you're thinking like Nelson, that is JV. But a young black baby named Gunner, I think, would be a nice kind of novelty. So
it's going to be a shooting guard.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm going to go with JV.
Oh, that's a tough one. All balls. Go for it.
I know a very nice blonde, blue-eyed gentleman named Gunner. I'll say all balls.
Oh, yeah. Dog breeds that end with doodle.
What?
Dog names
breeds
end with doodle. I don't like any of the doodle breeds, so I'm going to go JV.
I know a few people who have these. They're great dogs. Hypoallergenic. All balls.
Doodle. They're so cute. All balls.
Breakdancing as an Olympic sport.
You laugh now.
I would watch the shit out of that, and it would be 10 times. Anything's got to be better than fencing. Fencing, ironically, is the most boring Olympic sport to watch. I say replace fencing with breakdancing.
Yes, I agree with that, and USA would dominate this all balls.
That's right.
You are going to love my first story of the news, all balls.
Hell yeah. Last one, cufflinks.
Cufflinks. I like the notion of them. I have difficulty working them. They always seem to find their way up to the top drawer, and I just kind of look at them. You can't throw them away. You can't get rid of them. They don't make their way down into the lower drawers because they're too small, so they just sit there with the shit you use every day. Like, you open the drawers, I go, there's my toothbrush, there's my comb, there's my tweezers, there's my cufflinks that I never wear, but they're always there. And then what ends up happening, especially if you're me, is someone gives you novelty cufflinks. They give you like Man Show cufflinks or Paul Newman race car cufflinks or some kind of cufflinks, you know, that have something to do with you, which sound awesome, but you can never wear them because they're ugly and weird. But again, they don't get out of the rotation. There's no special, you know, when you're in like your bureau, your drawers, you know, your bathroom, the big stuff makes it down to the bottom drawers. The medium size is in the medium, and then the fine stuff. The cufflinks always float to the top. They're always there, and there's nothing to do with them, but you cannot throw them away. You cannot throw away cufflinks, and you can't pack them away, because if you pack them away, you'll never see them again. And they have some value, except for they have no value because you never use them. So I say JV.
Everything you said is correct. I have a pair of cufflinks in my bedroom that's 13 years old that have never been worn. Plus, you got to have the French cuffs that roll down as a special kind of shirt. So that's too much of a pain in the ass. I go with a tie bar, a tie clip. That's my accessory. JV for the cufflinks.
And you always put the one. You always do the good hand first. Like, the good hand handles the cufflink. So if you're left-handed, you put on your right one first. If you're right one, you put on your left cuff first. That thing works perfectly. Then you go with your lame hand and you end up shoving it in your eye. Sorry. Go ahead, Gina.
For no other reason than women always have these amazing jewelry collection to hand down to their grandchildren and great grandchildren. And what do guys have? Dick. Nothing except their beautiful diamond encrusted cufflinks from days of yore. That's the only thing you hand down to other generations. So I will say all balls.
It's also a cheat tell. You know what I mean? It's one more thing to leave behind at the mistress's place. You know what I'm saying? There's no explaining away a rogue cufflink underneath the bed to the old lady or vice versa. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can't explain away the cufflink. It's one more piece of evidence to leave behind. Right. Sorry, DFG.
Did JV, unless you're in the Chippendales and you have the cufflink separate from the arm.
That's all you got.
Then like the bare arm.
Yeah.
That's all you want.
That's all balls, but other than Chippendales, JV.
All right. Do we figure out who won the lightning round?
Also, Rocky's Turtles, Cuff and Link.
Oh, really? What?
Yeah, in the movie Rocky.
Oh, right. His turtles. In the movie Rocky. Yeah, right. I did not know that. Hey, DFG.
Hell yeah.
We're running a little behind. Yes.
Okay. I just hell yeah. And the next one we'll get to the next time we do the segment.
Please. All right.
It's just refusing to pay a girl for an abortion, but we'll do that later.
All right. Well, yeah. That's an evergreen.
Hell yeah, guys.
All right, outro.
That was JV, or All Balls, with the Deaf Frat Guy. Brought to you by Mangria.
Ooh. You can follow him on Twitter at Deaf Frat Guy. All right, let me hit Sling TV. Tired of huge cable bills. Want to cut the cord. Didn't we just figure out that Surfer Doc is on the Sling TV?
Surfwise. Check it out.
Surfwise, yeah. So you can go find it there. Worried about missing your favorite shows? Sling TV, the same top cable channels for as little as half the price. Plus, over 50,000 on-demand shows and movies. Make the smart choice. Save by switching to Sling TV. You won't miss a thing except those giant cable bills. Sling has millions of subscribers that start at only $30 a month for 30 top channels. Plus, they offer bundles so you can get local channels for free and you can save even more. Make the smart choice and switch to Sling TV. Get the best cable for the best price. It's easy to switch and save. Learn more at sling.com/Adam. Jonathan Rachman, who's a world-famous designer and has lots of tips for you on travel and everything else, is going to be with us right after this. All right, we're back with the designer extraordinaire, Jonathan Rachman. He's got a book out called, it's available now, it's called The Garlic Peanut Story, and it's available now on Amazon, tribute to his beloved adopted sister, and we'll talk about that in a second. Good to meet you, Jonathan.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about your story. I'm very much interested in design and architecture myself. It's a passion of mine.
Good story, architecture design. By the way, somebody just told me that you used to be in millwork or carpentry, something like that. Is that true?
Yes, I was a rough carpenter for a long time, and then I became a finish carpenter. And then I did do a lot of mill work, a lot of cabinet work. I worked at a Euro cabinet shop, and I worked at a traditional cabinet shop as well.
Amazing. That's something that I failed, actually. I failed carpentry in middle school or something.
Yeah, I don't even know if they, it's so funny. I have 14-year-old twins that are in high school now, and shop class doesn't even come up. I don't even know if there is shop class these days.
Cancel. Just Zoom class. All about Zoom.
Even in a non-Zoom era, I don't think shop is what it was. Like when I was a kid, everyone had to take a shop class, had to take a wood shop, metal shop, whatever it is. Everyone hated it. Some people loved it, but you still kind of learned something.
I discussed that here. I failed anything that's a boy supposed to be good at. Instead, I elected to do silk flowers, and I aced it when I was a kid. That's how embarrassing it was.
Where did you grow up?
So I was born in Sumatra, Indonesia. I don't know if you know where that is, like right next to Java, between Singapore and Australia. How's that?
Yeah, that works. And now whenever I hear about those lands, I just think about coffee. Mm-hmm. That's all I think about.
Well, I mean, that's funny that you mentioned that. I grew up in a coffee plantation, actually. Speaking of coffee.
Wow.
It's coffee. And my dad, I don't know how far we should take this story back. My parents were both my dad barely graduated from high school. He couldn't even pay for his own school. My parents were dirt poor. My mom was a teacher. And long story short, in the end, my dad actually owned his coffee plantation. And that's how he was able to send me to school in Switzerland and the US.
Wow. What a crazy culture. I don't know how old you are, but going from Indonesia.
How old do you think I am? Come on. Let's play this game. I love this.
20.
You're somewhere between me and George Takei.
Now, what number is that?
All right. Well, you look young, but
wait. You thought I was 20, but I'm actually 12. Look at me.
I think you're young. I think you look younger than you are because of your clean lifestyle and your strong.
Clean. Define clean. Let's see. So I just turned. That's very sweet. If I would have picked you really, really well if you carded me or you were in a restaurant. But I just turned half a century actually. Exactly. Yeah. It's all natural. It's thank you, mommy and daddy.
There's no lying on this podcast.
No, and it's all natural. Look at real close, natural. My teeth are yellow. I don't believe in whitening my teeth. It's all natural.
All right. So, sorry, you grow up on a coffee plantation. Is that correct?
Yeah, Sumatra.
Your dad?
In a ranch, basically, yeah. And so my parents sent me, I went to school in Switzerland and the US. I've been in the US for about 32 years. In between, I went to boarding school in Switzerland. And I came here as a foreign exchange student in high school. First time I went to public school ever in my life. I went to school where I was in uniform from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. was probably, and in Indonesia back then, there is no such thing of weekends. So I went to school from Monday to Saturday. Think about that. I know. And when I came here, I went to San Jose. I barely spoke English. And the movie 16 Candles just came out. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Needless to say, they used to call me Long Dot Dong. Yeah, that was so funny. I mean, funny now. It wasn't funny then. I barely spoke English when I came here. I lived with partially with an American family, partially with my relatives. But anyway, I've always wanted to come to the U.S. When I was 6 or 7 years old, I heard the song, "When You're Going to San Francisco, Be Sure to Wear a Flower in Your Hair." Remember that?
Sure.
Mackenzie, I think. That was the first time I heard the word San Francisco, and just the song and the music itself, and I was so obsessed with it. So I came to the U.S. In senior high school. I proudly graduated in high school with honor in English as a second language, although technically English is like my third or fourth language. And my formal education was in hospitality management, hotel restaurant management school, both in Switzerland and at USF, University of San Francisco. I did my degree with corporate America for about 10 years after I graduated from college. But there is a little twist there. My parents lost everything. Somebody who supposedly their adopted son essentially took every penny they've ever made. And this happens quite a bit in the old time because my parents didn't really have a bank account or credit card. Everything is, hard cold cash or, gold or something like that. This guy basically ransacked everything. So I had to drop out of school, essentially. I mean, after being jet setting all over the world, in Europe, weekends, I would be in Milan, London, Copenhagen, Geneva, what have you, to a point that my parents couldn't afford my school. And I basically almost had to drop out of school if it's not for two anonymous, generous human beings. Till this day, I have no idea who gave me scholarship. Like essentially, they paid for my tuition.
You have no idea who it was.
No idea. I mean, my professor at USF nominated me for a scholarship. Two came from a company, a hotel, and an international accounting association. The other two are individuals. Till this day, I don't know who it is. So all my life, after that happened, obviously, I wanted to pay it forward. I wanted to give back. But this book specifically, The Garlic Peanut Story, originally these are letters that I wrote to my sister's children. My sister sadly passed away when she was 46. That was about 14 years ago. And she left a 4-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter. She died of breast cancer. And, I just wanted to write the story of my sister for them so they remembered about their mom. But as I was writing it, I felt that the story was way bigger than my sister and myself and the children. As I was working through my book and my memoir, there's a lot of story that I think can or will help other people. Without giving too much into it, people call me now the celebrity designer. Yes, I jet set all over the world. I have celebrity clients. I have royal family who's my client. And what you see is what you get with me. I think you see that.
Who are some of your celebrity clients, if you don't mind?
Oh boy, there are some people I can't share, but in the past I know they're pretty open about this. In the past, I've done flowers and event designs for like MTV and VH1. I did flowers for Marc Jacobs. I have to thank Marc Jacobs for the fashion designer who introduced me later on. His people introduced me to Oprah and Sarah Jessica and their team, and I've done some work for them for floral and events. And then as far as interior design, good Lord, I'm now if I just turn the camera, I'm just completing this project that's 10,000 square feet home in a vineyard with a guest house and a helipad. And I'm just gonna walk around.
How much is that house, the 10,000 square feet in a vineyard?
This one will be about $40 million. I don't know if you see that.
Yeah.
Oh, we see that. We see that.
Where is that?
This is in St. Helena, Napa, and represented by Black Book International, an amazing, amazing broker, international broker I work with, Douglas Manful, who's also the broker for Celebrity and Royal Family and Who's Who. He sells like casinos, and I just finished my client's house, 24,000 square feet in San Francisco, 24-car garage, 15 bathrooms, suspended courtyard.
24,000 square feet in San Francisco. 24,000 in San Francisco. Yeah.
San Francisco, yeah.
Local
I
question.
have a project right now in Italy, a castle, a palace that I'm revamping and renovating. Hopefully I will still be alive when it's finished because it's 120,000 square feet that belongs to a princess.
You're just making up sentences at this point. Castles and vineyards, those are your clients.
And listen, I have this blessed, amazing life, but this book tells you a story about an island boy, me, who is a sissy boy that's essentially, besides being bullied on a daily basis, I was verbally, physically, mentally, and sexually abused. I was molested and raped.
Was that here? Was that in the United States? Was that on your travels? Was that back at home?
It happened in Indonesia, but also when I was here in the U.S. My first, I barely turned 18. I guess technically I was 18, but my first relationship was with a Jesuit priest.
Wow.
And while technically I was legally an adult, but I was a freshman in a new country, which the power exchange or the inappropriateness of that specific relationship, I have to say, it's inappropriate, and he should have known better. And
it was
I
predatory.
What's that?
It was predatory.
Absolutely, yeah. But I want to be able to discuss and share this with the world without any shame, and I want to talk about it appropriately, properly, and maturely, so people can discuss it and be better about it. And I also want to teach. This is a message of love and forgiveness. I want to forgive them, and I did forgive them. I have to move on. The abuse itself did not define me. It's part of me. But there are a lot of adults out there right now who experience what I experienced as a child. That's either shame, they shame for it, or it's a self-shaming process. But essentially, the Garlic Peanut story is a story about my sister whose love is so unconditional, and she had not a drop of hate in her blood. And she literally at some point would be the person who actually covered me physically when I was beaten up by a few people.
What were you beaten up for?
What was I beaten up for?
Yeah.
Just being perceived as the annoying fag, child who's a sissy fag. And I don't know the word then, that was the word, but I'm not, let's just say I'm not the most masculine child when I grew up. And that itself has become be it culturally or But I don't believe other children, I never believe they're bad children. They're bad parents or bad adults. They live their life by examples. And this happened in my own house. This happened at school. This happened at church. So anyway.
Yeah, sorry. Our connection is like kind of spotty. It's kind of in and out, although I can hear.
Is that good?
All right,
Is that
let's
better?
see.
That's better.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
He's in
Let's
rural St. Helena, so give him a break.
Yeah, working on.
No, but this, like, if I walk you through this, I don't know what you will use or not, but you want to see this
walk
place
us.
quickly?
Yeah, walk
All
us
right.
through a $40 million house. See what that looks like.
Is that on the silk?
And hey, maybe tell them if. Okay, here we go. This is the master suite, still in the work, basically. Can you see that or no?
Yeah, we can.
I see travertine. I see guys working.
Yeah. Say hi to Adam, Carolla, everybody. Hello.
Hi,
Boys
workers.
been warned.
What are they doing? Are they
so
doing?
let's walk backwards, and here's the messy right now, still the master bath.
What were those guys working on? Were they working on AV stuff?
They are installing a very, very heavy light fixture.
Tell them I want them to use lag bolts and not toggle bolts.
Did you hear that? Adam Carolla. What do you think? I don't fake it.
Tell them to use stainless steel lags. I want some extra pull-out power.
Let me just walk. I mean, we're just still organizing the master closet.
Oh, we're still in the master bedroom.
All right.
Yes,
the
master bedroom is maybe about 1,800 square feet. Oh my God. Here is you can't see. Judith, where are you, Judith? Here is the entry. I just installed that art. I'll just walk you.
I'm going to play the role of my mom. But do you think those people are really happy? Do you think they're happy? And my answer is, well, bitch, we're living in 900 square feet in NoHo.
Oh, I love that you say bitch. I call everybody bitches all the time.
Call my mom a bitch anytime you like. The point is maybe 1,800 square feet for a master suite doesn't make you happy, but I do know what makes you miserable. 4 people living in one house with one commode. That will make you unhappy. So I don't know if this makes you happy, but I'm going to reverse engineer our unhappiness and say maybe it does.
Another light fixture we're still trying to install.
That's beautiful.
God.
Stunning.
Look at that outdoor area.
We just had our lunch. Sorry, it's a bit messy.
It's a restaurant.
But this is one out of 2 pools that's happening.
2 pools.
Right now, I don't know. You see that? Maybe it's too bright. You see that?
We see it.
Yeah, I like the 2 pools because it's
right over the vineyard.
Oh my God!
So this is just the main house, and there is there's a bocce ball, there's a tennis court, a basketball.
Yes, everyone should utter the phrase at one point. This is just the main house.
How did you get that video? Is that from my Instagram?
Yeah, we're looking at video from your Instagram.
That's it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is amazing. I love contemporary.
And there's a golf course, a mini golf course. Well, not a full one, but it could be to a helipad if you'd like.
What did the? Yeah, I feel like everything that's flat is a helipad. Really, that's technically, right. Like if it's flat and there's no trees within 80 feet, it becomes a de facto helipad.
Yeah.
Can I ask Jonathan a question? Is that on the Silverado Trail side or is it on the Highway 29 side?
It's on the 29 side.
God,
it's St. Helena.
Yeah.
So if you know where BV is.
Yeah. I got married in Yountville, so I'm very familiar with
that. Okay. So there's a restaurant in Yountville we always love to go. I can't remember where it is now. But it's about, you know where Gott's, the burger place is?
Yes.
Formerly Taylor's. I sent Adam there on a live show one time.
We've been there. We all went there together.
We did?
You were right.
Yes, to Guts. We stopped
Guts,
there
yeah.
on the way out of town.
That was our lunch
right.
today. So it's about 10 minutes from there. It's right before there used to be Dean and DeLuca on this side. Yep. It's closed now, but it's about 5 minutes away from there.
I have been to that Gott's a half a dozen times at least. It's one of the greatest burgers in the world.
I just had my milkshake.
Well, now I'm getting hungry, and I was already horny looking at the architecture. So now I'm hungry and horny.
Now you are my guy. They said you have no idea what you got yourself into.
I could go gay. I could go gay with you, Jonathan. I could. I'm getting to that age, where as you get older, your joints get less flexible, but I feel like your sexuality gets more flexible. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's so good. It gets better. It gets better by the year. I used to be we're two guys. We synchronize, guys. We synchronize.
And you and I would make such a power couple because you'd be doing all the design work and I'd be doing all the heavy lifting, and we would be perfect together.
And by the way, I used to be a ballet dancer. Now I'm just a belly dancer. So I was able to put my legs right next to my ears, both of them at the same time.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm a bottom. I'm a bottom.
I'll never be a politician.
All right. Now, Jonathan.
I'll never be a politician.
Sorry, Jonathan, you're breaking up. Let me give a plug to the book, The Garlic Peanut Story. It's available now on Amazon. Jonathan, this has been great, but the connection is choppy. Oh, no.
I'm so sorry.
Brian. No, it's not your fault. You just got to tell. This guy spent $40 million on a house and $10 on an internet provider, a server. There I go. Jonathan Rachman, thanks for joining us, and come out and see us in person.
Take care, everybody, and spread the love.
The Garlic Peanut Story. All right, let me hit Avon here. Taser 2020 feels a little unstable, a little dangerous. Don't live in fear. Taser, protect yourself with life-saving self-defense technology. Taser's non-lethal self-protection devices are small enough to carry with you in your purse, glove box, glove compartment, powerful enough to incapacitate any attacker. Gina's got one.
Yep.
She takes care of business. Guns have unnecessary risks. Even pepper spray can harm you as much as the attacker. Taser products are a safer, easier way to go. Electrical charge immobilizes attackers up to 30 seconds, giving you time to escape. Send emergency services to your GPS location upon firing. Protect yourself and your family with Taser's smart defense products, the number one choice of law enforcement agency. Taser. Axon. Right, Dawson?
Taser is available without a permit in most U.S. states. Get the Taser Pulse Plus or Taser Strike Light at taser.com with promo code Adam. Save 15% now at taser.com. Promo code Adam, spelled TASER.com. Promo code Adam. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and do the news right after this.
Give me the news with Grad. News with Gina Grad. Breaking viral, all those crazy Trump tweets. Give me news with Gina Grad. Trouble in the Middle East. Celebrity drunk meltdowns. Need news with Gina Grad.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, I am so glad that DFG brought up breakdancing at the Olympics because that is real and it's really happening. According to ESPN, as of today, it is an official Olympic sport. They say that the International Olympic Committee's pursuit of urban events to lure a younger audience saw street dance battles officially added to the medals category. That's going to be 2024, the Paris Games. Also confirmed for Paris are skateboarding, sport climbing, and surfing. So those three sports will make their Olympic debuts at the Tokyo Games, which were postponed because of the pandemic, and that's supposed to be next July. But breakdancing is coming 2024.
Well, I'm going to expand this, which is we keep looking at the sports. We want to make the sports more exciting, more youth-oriented, and all that kind of stuff. And, the events. And I like that. But you still have the old stodgy international judges. Mm-hmm. I don't want some 72-year-old Russian guy with a bad mustache judging breakdancing. Right. I say we get celebrities like it's Dancing with the Stars or So You Think You Can Act or So You Think You Can Sing or While You're Gay or whatever those shows are. You get that panel in there. You get like Julianne Hough. You get Vin Diesel. Nobody knows breakdancing more than Vin Diesel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
Curtis Blow can volunteer?
Curtis Blow? Yeah, Google that shit. Vin Diesel, that kid could pop and lock when he had a full head of hair, right, Max Zapata?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Enthusiastic agreement.
No, Vin Diesel's first off, he's a better breakdancer than he is an actor, if you can believe it.
Okay.
That I can believe.
Noted.
Sight unseen.
He's a breakdancer, and he knows breakdancing. And that's how he came up. Is there footage of him?
Yeah, we're pulling up. He's doing like a little tutorial on in one video where he has a lot of hair and he's breakdancing.
You guys think I'm kidding?
Yes,
I am
very
not.
much.
Vin Diesel knows breakdancing, and how awesome would it be to have Vin Diesel sitting between those two judges holding up the scorecard? You know what I mean?
Great. Like Chuck Norris at the dodgeball championships.
That's right. That's right. We'll find that footage. But yeah,
I need to see this immediately.
I'm all about it. I like, and by the way, each country would have to have some cool street garb. You couldn't just go with the stupid unitard that said USA on it or something.
No.
You know what I mean?
Oh, no. You gotta have Adidas or some shit.
Yeah, you need the
Harem
hat.
pants.
Yeah, sideways and all that shit. You got to go full 80s. Is this Vin Diesel?
Yeah, so this is he has a breakdancing tutorial video.
Well, obviously you can't come up with a tutorial video unless you've mastered the art.
Very true.
Scramble foot to foot.
Curtis Blow.
Curtis Blow. It's a full head of hair, young spry Vin Diesel, popping and locking. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, so to get into clubs for free, he would do security, and then he would spend his nights off dancing.
See, there you go. See, you guys think you know Vin. All right, you got it.
He also said he was a dancer for the Beastie Boys in the 80s.
What?
See, you guys think you know Vin Diesel. You don't.
You don't know Vin Diesel.
I know Vin Diesel. He would be the perfect judge for this competition.
I don't know if I'm insulting Vin Diesel or complimenting the children of today, but there's plenty of TikTok teenage dancers that are 1,000 times better than what we just watched.
I was going to say that looked pretty rudimentary, but again, it was an instructional video.
Right.
So perhaps he's
For us
slowing
noobs.
it down for us. Yeah, for us noobs.
Analogy your dad could appreciate, Gina. Bob Cousy couldn't compete in the NBA today. We must judge them by their era. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Johnny
Babe Ruth
Unitas.
never faced a black pitcher.
That's right. That he didn't hate. Johnny Unitas couldn't play in the NFL today, but yet of his time, he was one of the greats.
Okay, that helps.
That's the same with Vin and popping and locking.
Well, I look forward to it. I look forward to him judging real breakdancers and seeing if they pass muster.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of sports, so we talked about Jake Paul and how he knocked out Nate Robinson last week. Well, now the YouTube star's brother, Logan Paul, who we've talked to on the show, has lined up a fight against Floyd Mayweather. The two will fight in a pay-per-view special. The bout is an exhibition, which means it won't count on either fighter's professional record. Logan has a pro record of 0-1, while Floyd has one of 50-0. Floyd doesn't sound like he'll take it easy on this kid either. Back in November, he wrote, quote, "These YouTube girls better find some Barbie dolls to play with because I'm not the one to play kids' games."
Oh, heteronormative.
3 years ago, a fighter from the UFC said my name and I had to put a muzzle on that expletive. Logan Paul can get the same treatment before I go conquer Japan again. And Logan's 25, 6'2", 200 pounds. Floyd 43, 5'8", 150. And I think that'll be fun for all.
Yeah, well, as we'd previously discussed, it's just we're now living in a sort of freak show nation where it's just we want P.T. Barnum, we want a spectacle. We don't really care about boundaries or rules or the love of the game or the sanctity of the sport or whatever. We just want a freak show, which I think it's that our kind of collectively as a nation, our pleasure centers have been burnt out. So we have to just keep no longer can we have sex in a missionary position and enjoy it. Like you got to be cutting on me and smacking my ass with a rolled up newspaper so I can feel something. I think that's kind of where we're at as a nation.
Yeah.
This would be interesting only because Paul is so much bigger than Floyd is. That would be the only thing that would make this. The only thing that would make this mildly interesting is that he's physically so much bigger
and 20 years younger, if that helps.
I imagine Floyd's in really good shape, though.
I don't know if you've seen him with his shirt off, Brian. Yeah, he has a kind of a slickness and a rhythm and stuff that hasn't seemed to be affected by time. So it'll be interesting. Look, the last time they did it with Conor McGregor, although Conor McGregor's a professional fighter, of course, it was much more competitive than people thought. That, by the way, if you want to gamble like professional gamblers, that was one of those bets where I think Floyd must have been a 6.5 to 1 favorite or something. He was a
heavy favorite. I gambled
favorite
on that event, yeah, and that was a good day for me.
It was a heavy favorite. Now, real gamblers just go, well, I'll put 10 grand on Floyd and I'll just take home $2,500. And it's still $2,500 more than you had the day before. And there's no way Floyd's going to lose that fight. Now, the amateur gamblers go, oh, I'll bet $500 on McGregor. If I win, I'll get $5 grand, but they never win.
Right.
Better just to take the smaller amount. Yes.
I have the odds on this one. It's according to Forbes, Logan is a 15 to 1 long shot. Mm-hmm. So do with that what you will. And the Floyd McGregor fight, Mayweather got like $350 million. So did anyone really lose that fight? I mean, either way.
No.
They both got paid out.
No.
And there's another one on the way. Evander Holyfield says his team has been in contact with Mike Tyson's camp, and he strongly believes they are very close to inking a deal for a third fight. That's according to TMZ. Evander's 58, Tyson's 54. And I have a clip of Holyfield saying who's in charge when it comes to arranging these fights. This is the reason he would do it.
That's the only guy that I see that the people want. If you're doing the thing, you're doing it for the people. And the purpose is the people. And because it's the people what makes things go around. And, I'm talking just being him. If it wasn't for the people wanting, then I wouldn't be saying nothing to him.
Saying the people make the world go round.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a market for it, why not?
Well, there's now a market for everything, and there's a way to get paid well into your, later in your career. There's the Big Three basketball tournament league that Garagos is a part of with Ice Cube. Right.
Yep.
And these are a bunch of guys who retired from the league 15 years ago, and they're now getting paid. Like there's a sort of senior tournament for everything. I would beg right now that we stop it before we get to porn, because I will be watching a Nina Hartley take it in the ass in 20 minutes if we don't stop this train right now.
Yeah, this is going to have a logical ending, which is not
right.
Good.
This is where we need to stop it, because believe me, it will not stop. It'll roll right into porn.
Yeah, it'll be an exhibition scene.
Yeah, I don't want to see Seka break a hip out there. Is Seka still alive?
Seka?
Oh, you don't have to look it up, Max Pat. I'm asking you a question. Is Seka still alive? I know you know.
She was a big star back in the day.
What? I love that. I love it. What?
Well, maybe.
Is Seka alive? Yes or no?
Yes, 66.
She's 66? She was.
Oh, wow.
She's got to be older than 66, doesn't she?
Is this
More
Seka?
years.
I think it's Seka. She's an
That's her?
international porn star.
Yeah, 66.
66 years young? Yeah, she could still.
Which one was the
She's known
big
as the
boob
platinum
queen?
princess of porn.
That's a Minka. How dare you?
Oh, Minka.
Who's who?
I couldn't. Who was the big boob queen?
Oh, yeah, Minka.
Present company excluded. Okay.
Minka. Yeah.
She took your crown.
Yeah, she was the greatest.
Minka.
We had her on Loveline. She was fantastic.
I remember.
She was a delight. I would call her a delight. Seka's only 66.
Uh-huh.
I feel like Seka was. I feel like she was starring in porn movies in like 1973.
Pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
You know, back then.
You were probably right. I mean, she married Francis Patton in 72, a week after her 18th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Who's Francis Patton, by the way?
I don't know, I'm reading about
Right.
them. And they divorced when she began her pornographic career. Oh, in 77.
Ah, that's when
So,
she began
there
her
you go.
career?
Yeah.
Mm.
Paxton.
Oh, yeah, Bill. All right, let me hit Tommy John here, and then we'll get more into this. Guys had enough to deal with this year. Let's not overthink the gifts. Get the gift of comfort for everyone on your list. Tommy John's men's and women's loungewear. Oh, it's getting cool enough outside where you can don the loungewear. Say bye the old stained sweatpants. Tommy John's loungewear is luxurious, soft, and guaranteed to fit perfectly. The loungewear, the pajamas, the underwear, they come in limited edition sets, perfect for gifting, and they always sell out quick. Order now. It's such a good gift. Once you get into the Tommy John stuff, you never go back. I don't know how they make it so soft and feel so good, but it's just the best. No risk with Tommy John's best pair you'll ever wear, or it's free, guaranteed. Take care of yourself with Tommy John, right, Dawson?
Order now. Go to TommyJohn.com/Adam for $20 off site-wide for a limited time only. Get $20 off for a limited time at TommyJohn.com/Adam, TommyJohn.com/Adam. See site for details.
What else we got, Gina Grad?
Well, let's get
Seka's only 66.
Oh, this is according to our Wikipedia, which has been known to be wrong. But
Oh, do they fudge that?
but I mean, it looks pretty official.
Well, let's see. I mean, let's do some math. You're right.
If she bought 54 and she got married in 72, that would be 18, right?
There you go. Yeah.
All right, I guess.
Quick math over
She's
here.
doing her porn. I feel like she's just been porn for a long time. All right. Anyway, sorry. Let's not have the seniors tour for the porn stars. That's all I'm saying.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into some auction and some offloading, some big stuff. So first of all, Colin Kaepernick hasn't played a game in 4 years, but a piece of his memorabilia with his name on it set a new record at auction Friday night, according to Fox News. The jersey Kaepernick wore in the first NFL game he played with the 49ers in 2011 sold for $128,000 at Julian's auction.
Oh, more than Mav's helmet?
But barely. It's the most money on NFL jerseys that's ever sold, according to TMZ Sports. The winning bidder has not been revealed, which seems common lately.
Yeah.
And that's the new one to beat.
I think COVID has freaked out everyone on the sort of novelty spending. You know, I've heard people talking about, I'm looking for a new car. I like the Cadillac, but with the whole COVID, like, I don't like the optics. Like, a lot of people are into optics now, you know, like, you don't want to seem like that person.
Ostentatious.
Yeah. And like, there's all these celebrities are getting called out because J-Lo goes on a private jet and Jeter takes a picture of her, and then everyone says, oh, look at her reclining on her private jet while everyone else is waiting in line to get food, you know,
Yeah.
and everyone
And
hates that.
The latest one from this morning is everyone's mad at Cardi B for tweeting, should I get this $88,000 purse? I'm so tempted, because it's Cardi B and Cardi B's little world. And people are like, that's what people make in a year if they're lucky.
Right.
Nice. So that's not cool right now. People aren't into it.
Yeah, so people don't like it. So spending $126,000 on Cap's jersey when people are having trouble keeping their businesses afloat, it's bad optics. So everyone's just kind of like, I'm not going to tell anybody I have money anymore.
Well, on the other side of the spectrum, there are two big classic rock stars that are offloading big chunks of their catalog. And I was wondering if it's because they're thinking, uncertain times, maybe I should just cash in and use the money now. So Bob Dylan, two of your favorites, by the way, Bob Dylan has unloaded his entire songwriting catalog in a deal with Universal Music Publishing for $300 million. The deal covers more than 600 songs, including those in his latest album, Rough and Rowdy Ways. Universal will get 100% of the publishing and now controls each song's copyright. Plus, they will get all the income Dylan would have received as the songwriter. So he said, I'll take the money. Meanwhile, Stevie Nicks did the same thing. She's unloaded 80% of her publishing to publishing and management company Primary Wave. That deal includes both solo and Fleetwood Mac songs like Landslide and Edge of 17 and Dream and all the hits, Dreams. The company has also access to use her name and likeness. And this is just the beginning because she's also partnered with them to sign new songwriters. And they also have other people's estates. They have Ray Charles, Aerosmith bassist Tom Hamilton, who, by the way, that amounts to 15 Aerosmith songs like Sweet Emotion, Janie's Got a Gun. So this is like, I think everybody's looking for security, even the multimillionaires.
Writing songs and publishing those songs and owning that's the gift that keeps giving. Mm-hmm. You think about jobs and you know, everyone always talks about like, how much does this pay or how much does that pay? But it's like when you're a working stiff and you're a roofer, you just get paid $14 an hour and then that's it. There's never like, hey, it rained the other day and your roof worked great, so now you can expect a check. Like there's no
mailbox money.
No, there's no like residual anything or anything. It's just like the lowest form of work is you physically don't get paid unless you're there doing the job. We've all had those jobs. Mm-hmm. You want to get out of that as fast as you can. The best is I got paid for Lay Lady Lay in 1967, and I'm going to get paid again in 2020. And I got paid all the way through for doing that song in concerts and licensing it to movies and commercials. That's what you want. And then in between is get paid for 2 weeks for Christmas and a week for Thanksgiving and another week for Easter. That's kind of the in-between version of that. But you want to get in, and then there's the hedge fund guys that are just getting paid while they're on vacation or at sleep because the stock portfolio just went. But you want that. I don't think people think, the thing about poor people, and I know them well, it's always about how much you can get paid per hour. That was always the discussion. How much can you make an hour? But at a certain point, even if it's being paid well per hour, you still want to get into that bracket of being paid for something you thought of or invented. And also, you think about the amount of effort. You think about a Bob Dylan song. I don't know a whole lot about his process. But I don't know, ain't going to work on Maggie's farm no more. That couldn't have taken more than 15 minutes. It really couldn't have. I've heard that song. It just couldn't have. And by the way, they always say it. I was on an airplane. I started thinking, I wrote it down on a cocktail napkin, and that song took 5 minutes to write, and it just keep getting paid. Yes, Dawson. Sorry.
Interesting story. I was interviewing Danny O'Keefe, a folk singer from a long time ago. And he said that he was asked by Bob Dylan's people to join his writing label and co-write some songs with Bob. And so the first thing that he got sent by Bob Dylan was one strum of a guitar and the word, well. Right. And that was it. So Danny O'Keefe turned it into a song about groundwater.
And that became the hurricane.
But that was Bob Dylan's contribution. One strum of a chord, and well.
Wow.
And that's it.
Co-writer. And remember, Dolly Parton, everybody asked her, do you get annoyed or does it bother you that Whitney Houston made the song I Will Always Love You famous again and gave it new life? And her answer was, no, because every time I hear that song, all I hear is a cash register. So that was the greatest thing that ever happened, that Whitney Houston made that another hit.
Answer this next question like Seka. Okay.
What does Seka sound?
No one knows what Seka stands. I would assume that Seka has the same accent as the girls from ABBA.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you could tell the difference between ABBA and Seka.
Okay.
Can you find an ABBA and Seka audio clip?
Let me check.
If you can find Seka singing ABBA, you got yourself a bonus, my friend.
Yeah, Super Trooper.
I don't know if they're all interviewed together. These may have to be separate interviews. I don't know how the internet works.
They could be on a panel.
They could have been on a panel.
Yeah.
Where's Seka from?
Virginia.
What?
Oh,
She
come
was sounds
on.
like an international superstar to me.
I know.
What's her real name?
Dorothy Hundley.
Oh, come on, man.
Ruined everything.
You're such a cock blocker. Dorothy?
Yeah.
Dorothy.
Dottie.
I thought she was like from the Alps. Oh, man.
Just because she started Swiss Miss, Adam, doesn't make her from the Alps.
Started by blowing the Ricola guy and then made her way to Ron Jeremy. Oh.
Yeah, she adopted the name Seka after a female blackjack dealer that she knew in Vegas.
Oh.
There's many levels of the story.
Get into her Von Trap.
Gina, for God's sake.
Yeah. Well, this is horrible to me. This is really, it is.
It's a dark day.
I thought she was like some kind of international superstar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Seka, are you really 66 years young?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I saw that scene with you and Jamie Gillis you did in 1979. That's,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I don't know. I don't think that was acting. I think you were into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very agreeable, that Sega.
Quite a temptress, aren't you?
Yeah.
Sorry your first marriage didn't work out, but that was, for all the viewers, that was a gift because you made your way right into the adult movies, right?
Yeah.
So you come from the Swiss Alps, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I heard, at least Randy West told me this, you actually came down on a sled and burst onto your first porn set that way.
Oh, yeah.
With a hot cup of cocoa in one hand and a vibrator in the other.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I've seen you do a lot of girl scenes.
Yeah, yeah.
And it seems like you like the girls, but do you really like them?
Yeah.
Or is that just acting?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
I heard your real name was Dorothy, but I called the man a liar and told him to leave the room.
Yeah. Liar, yeah.
Yeah. And I heard that not only were you raised in the Swiss Alps.
Yeah.
Will you see that The Grinch Who Stole Christmas movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I picture that as like your lair up there, like
Yeah.
your porn lair in the Swiss Alps up there.
Yeah.
Whoville.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool,
And you
yeah.
did it. I know you did it for the love of the game. It wasn't a paycheck for you.
Oh, yeah.
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 Are you thinking about making a return? I know a lot of folks that wax nostalgic for that. Speaking of waxing, Seka, this has been a real slice. And by the way, thank you for being such an open book as an interview.
Yeah.
I think we've learned things about you that we didn't know before.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little self-serving, but you're attracted to me. Is there any chance that we might have a future?
Yeah.
It took a little while. All right, there you are, Seka. You've heard all the Seka impressions, but now you've heard the best.
Thank you.
Gina Grad. All right, let me hit Simply Safe, and then we'll do one more. Simply Safe break-ins on the rise during the holidays. So Simply Safe's having a huge holiday sale, 40% off any system and free security camera as well, whether you're traveling or staying put for the holidays. check out the 40% off plus free security camera, I should say. And the deal's going to end this week. Simply Safe makes a great product. We use it here. They've been with us for, I think probably a decade now. U.S. News and World Report says best home security of 2020. CNET gives it the Editor's Choice Award. An arsenal of sensors and cameras. You set up yourself in about 30 minutes, and Simply Safe security specialists will monitor around the clock. Any emergency help if there's an alarm. It's Simply Safe, right, Dawson?
Get 40% off Simply Safe plus a free security camera today by visiting simplysafe.com/Adam. Go today. This deal is this week only. Simplysafe.com/Adam. Simplysafe.com/Adam.
Let's do one more, Gina.
All right. Well, since so many medical things are
Hold on.
always
Where does Seka live now?
Okay.
She back in her hometown in the Alps?
or in the Appalachian
And if you tell me
mountains.
like Wisconsin or Nebraska, I'm going to be rip shit at you.
Happily retired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta look this one up. I'll let you know when I find it.
Okay.
While you're doing that, hopefully while you watch Seka, this doesn't happen to you, because one medical expert now claims that COVID-19 could cause erectile dysfunction. With the pandemic crushing the spirits and finances all over the world, one doctor told NBC Network, NBCLX, that the virus also has left some male patients short on their ability to perform sexually. Dr. Gina Grad says, we now know that people can have long-term effects from this virus, neurological complications. And now for men, there's some real concern here that men could have long-term erectile issues from the virus, because we know it causes issues in vasculature. So, you know, any heart problems, that kind of thing, you'll be dealing with a softie. You might need to get one of those Nike Air pumps.
Yeah, I think the great Larry Flint had one of those installed, those air pumps. And and I said, where's the pump? And he's like, in my sack.
Yeah, in your ball.
I think he said you give it like 3 squeezes and you're in full effect.
But do you know it? Like, do you feel it? Or is it just aesthetic? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't
does
know.
he feel? I need to know if Larry Flint felt erect. I need to know.
Gina.
I remember walking out to his limo after interviewing him, and he had a gold wheelchair in the trunk. And maybe he had a Ron Jeremy dildo he gave me. Or maybe Ron gave me that. But yeah, that's about all I know about the. Wait, is Larry Flint alive?
I think he just died, didn't he?
I don't think he's very alive.
This whole COVID thing has screwed me up in the death department.
He is still alive. He's 78.
What?
78.
He's 12 years older than Seka?
What the? What's going on?
I don't know.
This world is confusing.
Yeah.
So add that to the list of symptoms. Everybody be careful out there with those COVID symptoms.
Did they say, is this chronicled, or are we just sort of extrapolating the math with the vascular stuff, or is she seeing patients that are being affected this way?
Unclear, although it might be a little more about just beware of this as a symptom, because she says there's a real concern that men could have long-term issues. Now, we haven't had COVID long enough to know if anyone has long-term issues of anything, but that this is something that you should be aware of on the list, because when it attacks your vasculature system, it could attack your erection.
Might this be a byproduct of being locked up with the same battle axe for 9 months and not getting to see
COVID, babe, but when you get it off?
not getting to see the guma?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. She's not in your bubble.
Not in your bubble. You got to get that guma into the bubble. Yeah, this is good enough. Interesting. Oh, Max Spada, we got to take our. We did our poll of would you rather have COVID or herpes. Around here, everyone would rather have COVID than herpes.
Yeah, we did this during the stereo conversation, so we didn't get Bryan or Gina's votes.
But I did kind of a Twitter version of this, too, so we should probably start tallying some of that up.
Sure.
Bryan, Gina, COVID or herpes?
Wow.
Now,
That was a heavy question to lay on.
Here's here's the deal. All right, we'll do these 2 caveats.
Because Bryan would probably rather have herpes.
Well, some people will go...
Not again.
Not Bryan, right. Some people go, I already have herpes, so I'll take herpes. Well, if you already have herpes, then it would rid you of herpes if you took COVID.
Oh.
Right, That's the twist. And pre-existing conditions will carve that out as well. Let's just say everyone is healthy and relatively youngish. Would you take the COVID or the herpes? Everyone here said COVID. And most people online said COVID, which I took as a very good sign. Because he wouldn't do it with AIDS. That's for sure.
Son of a bitch. I think my answer is different than it would be as a young man. A young single man, I would not want herpes, and I would be able to handle COVID probably a lot better as a 25-year-old. In my condition, I think COVID would
No,
be
not in your condition. You were carving that out.
You don't have a condition in hypothetical, and you have no conditions.
Oh, fuck. This is
yeah.
Well, there's no if COVID danger-wise. There's no difference between 42 and 25. As long as you're under 60, it's all pretty much safe zone.
Can the answer be I'd rather have herpes but tell people I have COVID?
That's a good point.
COVID or herpes?
You get more cachet out of COVID. Like I got COVID.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, shit.
Yeah, I think
herpes,
you get more cachet out of saying I have sex with my stepdaughter than saying I have herpes. Like everything is more cachet than. I don't even know if herpes even carries a cachet anymore.
No, it's a negative cachet.
Yes.
Trust me. Okay, condition completely neutral. I would say I would rather get COVID now. Getting herpes, like at my age as a married man, like that. I don't want to explain how I got that.
Well, take that out. Just
Oh,
COVID
shit.
or herpes.
Speaking of COVID now, I would rather have COVID in December of 2020 rather than herpes, but I probably would have said herpes in May of 2020.
Right.
So now, yeah, probably COVID.
Yeah, probably COVID.
Wow, we're across the board with COVID, which is good. That means it's not as deadly as people
epidemiologically.
It's treatable. It's treatable. The treatment is not pleasant, and the after effects aren't. But herpes is forever, right? Like there's no cure.
Yeah, and I don't even.
Is that with the diamond ring slogan?
Well, there's a couple. There's a couple things. First off, I don't know that the treatment is bad, depending on, and I don't even know if you'll be symptomatic. Like you may just get COVID, be COVID positive, and nothing. And I don't even know what the after effects are if you're not symptomatic or you're treated quickly and whatever. So I'd take the COVID. Seka lives in Kansas City,
Missouri. I just saw her social media at Seka 1954, which we've already established her birth year.
Like I said about the chick who said she was black but is really Jewish and sat in front of me at high holidays in synagogue, I promise you I know someone who knows Seka, and I will get back to you on that tomorrow.
Well, please, let's get her on the show. I cannot wait to hear that exotic international accent.
Hey, y'all.
Ugh. Kansas City. Ugh. This has ruined Seka for me. All right, let's bring it home, Gina Grad.
Oh, you got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.
It turns out the porn industry is one big lie. It's just a lie. That's what it. No, Brian, don't try. Don't try to smooth this over. It's a goddamn lie. They were lying to me then. They're lying to me now. This is a lie. And you know what? Shame on me. Shame on me because I believed it.
Fool you once, shame on them. Fool you 8 million times.
Shame on you.
One big lie. That's all. Just a lie. And I went for it. Well, it's not going to happen to my son. I'm going to have a talk with him when I get home today. Very important talk. Remember how we were talking about zits on Tuesday? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bigger. More impactful.
More white fluid.
All right, let me hit Geico here. Do you own, do you rent? Well, you do one or the other. That's why you got to get some Geico. You want to bundle those policies at Geico. Makes it easy to bundle homeowners, renters insurance along with your auto policy. You go to geico.com, you get a quote, see just how much you could be saving, and they make it easy. Visit geico.com today. All right, let's see. Got to get my plug paper here. I want to thank Jonathan Rachman for zooming in today. I want to thank Def Frat Guy for being a part. You can go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows everywhere. And vote for Most Disgusted to Sleep with me on our social media site as well, media accounts. And until next time, this is Adam for Gina and Bald saying mahalo.